Hello, my name is Clay Staires with the Leadership Initiative. I want to welcome you to a training series that we are calling Winning in the Workplace. Are you by any chance a business owner out there and you're looking at your employees and you're just going, how come they don't get it? What is up? And it's just draining you because you are finding that you have to do all of the work all the time and you're wanting to be able to pass it off, but you can't. And so you're just stuck in that spot of wanting a successful company, but you're just, how am I going to do this? Or how about this? Maybe you're a manager. Maybe you're a manager and you have people around you, but you're going, how do I get these people to do what I'm telling them to do? I keep telling them, but they aren't doing it. What's up? And you're pulling your hair out. It's driving you crazy. Or how about this? Maybe you are an entry-level worker. Maybe you're a person that has just come into a job and you're maybe even a young worker just come into the workforce. And you're wondering, how do I get promoted? How do I get more money? Where's the path? How do I get noticed so that I can grow and move forward in my life and in my business? Well, guys, this training series is for you because we will answer and solve each of these problems. Okay, once again, we're going to be introducing to you guys what I call the production mindset pyramid. And it all begins down at the very base, the mindset that we have to have as we enter into the workforce. And that base is called the worker level. In this first series that we're doing here, these 8 sessions are all on the worker level. After this, we'll move to the next 8 series of sessions, which is all going to be about the trainer level or the team builder level. And then next after that is into the manager. How can we be better managers? How can we get people to do what we want them to do? And then finally, we move into this 4th level, which we call the effective leader. And this is in that area where we are able to lead multiple people all at the same time without feeling like we constantly get drugged down into the weeds of our business on a daily basis. So once again, this is the Winning in the Workplace training series. I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to learn a ton. Welcome. Let's get started. So the first thing that we have here is some ground rules. Each time when you come, I want you to know that this is going to be the expectation for you. Number 1, you're going to love this. Always come with your notebook and pen. Okay? As a school teacher for 15 years, it was always so exciting when children would walk into my classroom, the wonderful, beautiful children that they were, and they would have nothing with them. They would just walk in and they had absolutely nothing. And so it looked like I was getting ready to be their babysitter for the next hour and a half. So I want you guys to know one of the expectations for this class is that each time you come, please remember to bring your notebook and a pen or a pencil, something to write with. Number 2, you're going to love this one right here, okay? I am going to expect you to come to these classes just like you would come to work, dressed in what we call business casual, okay? That means that when you're coming, I want you to come in either a skirt, a dress, a shirt with a collar, okay? No denim, no shorts, no flip-flops. No dirty clothes, no tanks or things like that, but we're coming dressed business casual. I want you to go ahead and start getting used to that, okay? You would be amazed at how many employees actually show up or want to be employees show up for interviews totally dressed for something different. It's like they're getting ready to go to the lake or something like that. So I don't want you guys to ever do that. So number 1 tip on an interview is dress for the part, okay? Dress for success. Because again, that first impression, people will exclude you immediately if you walk in flip-flops, hat turned around backwards. Now again, you might be sitting there saying, oh, people would never do that. Oh, they do that all the time. You know, they'll even bring children with them on the interview. You know, not a good idea. That's again, number 2 point, don't take your children to the interview. All right, it's always important to know, Jessica, just for the future. Okay, so that's number 2. And then we come to number 3. Things that you always want to keep in mind is we need to be on time. Vital that we come and that we are on time each time. And you've probably heard before that what, 10, 15 minutes early is on time. 40 minutes early, Jessica, could be on time. But early is on time. On time is what we call in time, all right? And it's always frustrating as an employer when your employees are showing up just in time, all right? Because how many of you guys know you get to work and there's always that, 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 minutes of kind of getting oriented. I'm paying you for that, okay? So I expect you to be here early to get all that stuff taken care of, so by the time you clock in, you are on time. Fair enough? Okay, good deal. And let's see, next of all, what we want to do, number 4, again, there's only 4 things. Ready to learn. Please come each week, please come to each session with an attitude of, I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow. I'm here to gain something new. Now, for me as a teacher, how do I interpret, Carrie, somebody is ready to learn? Somebody is here and they are ready to learn. It's a whole lot more than Jessica saying, yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to learn. It's a whole lot more than that. What it means to me is when people actually have questions, when people are actually interacting. That's when I know learning and processing is going on. Again, being in the classroom for 15 years, there were most days where me as a teacher, I am talking, and my classroom is full of humans. However, I don't think any learning is going on. Does that make sense to you guys? Did you ever go into class? You sat in class maybe an entire day. Maybe, Gianna, okay? Probably not, but maybe an entire day. Class to class to class. You went to the class. You were physically there, but learning never took place. You guys know what I'm talking about there? It can happen, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, if you can, to be careful not to fall into that trap. If possible. We don't want this to distill down to, oh, this is just like my science class, and Clay's just like my science teacher, okay? That's not the case. Okay? This isn't science and I'm not your science teacher. We're trying to help equip you with tools to be successful outside of class. Okay? Not just to be successful one day, cram the night before, come in, be successful in class by being able to regurgitate all that information and do good on a test. This is to help you be successful outside of the class. Fair enough? Okay, so these are the 4 things. Any problem with these? Anybody want to get up and walk out of the room yet? Anybody want to turn off the video, say, forget this, I'm not going to move any forward? Okay? All right, good deal. So these are going to be the ground rules. Everybody's all right with this? Fantastic. Good. I'm going to erase here. Go ahead and go. Next thing I want to do is take a look. If you look at our notebook, I want to take a look at what the schedule is going to look like, the different things that we're going to be covering in our class. Okay? You can see here on the table of contents, today is our introduction. After this, we're going to be talking about business, just how business works, kind of talking about the bigger picture of how a business becomes sustainable. Now again, there are a ton of businesses out there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that these businesses are successful, that these businesses are sustainable. So what we need to do is we need to understand how to make a business sustainable, so you will know your part in how that thing happens. From there, we're going to be talking about how STAR employees think about work. Jessica, I've just had a ton of employees, I actually used to be one of these employees for a long period of time, that was in the job, they were working, but most of our employees are actually at work, but they're disengaged. Work is like a necessary evil for them. Does that make sense? I've got to work because I've got to have money because I've got to pay for this stuff. And so this kind of idea and this kind of is what we bring to work. As a matter of fact, 73% of the American workforce right now is disengaged in work. Disengaged. 23% of those 73 are actively disengaged. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I can only imagine, Gianna, I can only imagine actively disengaged means I'm actually driving to work, planning on being late, planning on not doing anything while I'm there, and just kind of blowing off. That's the only thing that they're actually planning on doing nothing, actively disengaged. 23% of our workforce, okay? And then obviously we get frustrated. How come I'm not getting a raise? How come I'm not getting promoted? I hate this job. Well, he's just not engaged. Fair enough? So we want to talk about how STAR employees actually think about work. From there, we'll be talking about the purpose of employee evaluations. Now, you guys, have you ever done this? Have you ever done this? Because primarily you've been in school so far. Have you ever been in a place where you took a test, you thought you did really good on the test, and then you get the test back, and you didn't do good on the test? Anybody been there before? Okay. Did any of you at any time ever have a thought, even for a fleeting moment, my teacher is stupid? It's the teacher's fault. You know? Well, for those of us on the camera, have you ever been in a spot where you have gone in for an employee evaluation and the evaluation didn't come back the way you wanted it to come back? It's interesting how we have the same response to that. We go, well, that's not fair. They just don't like me. Well, we find all kinds of excuses as to why, as opposed to thinking, well, evidently I didn't know what I thought I knew. Okay? So we're going to talk about the importance of employee evaluations and how not to get caught in the trap, Gianna, of when you get evaluated poorly, how not to just blame somebody else. Okay? And at the same time, Michaela, how not to get all panicky and freaked out when employee evaluations are coming up, which again, people do all the time. Just kind of big eyes, almost like we do when we're getting ready for a test. You know, we're walking in, we're pooping our pants and just terrified of what's going to happen on this test. So we're going to be talking about evaluations. Next of all, how do you identify a good job for you? I know that you're going to be moving forward from here. Those of you that are watching the video, you might be in a position right now, a job that you've had for a long time, and going, is this really a good job for me? And you've been there for 5 years trying to answer that question. Is this really a good job for me? How do you know if the job is right for you? We want to talk about some specific things to help you answer that question so you can have confidence on a daily basis when you go into your job, so you don't fall into that category of the 73% that is disengaged. Okay? Then we'll move from there into how to apply an interview like a rock star. Getting Gianna to your point, how do we apply an interview to make sure that we stand out in front of everybody else, it's all the other competition? How do you set yourself apart once you have the job? AKA, how do I not suck as an employee? All right, that's like a basic lesson. You got to learn how to not suck as an employee. Those of you watching, you got to not suck, okay? If you want to get promoted, if you want to get a raise, if you want people to look at you a certain way, Carrie, you can't suck, all right? So that's really all it is. You guys, I talk to college students across the country. I've got a whole presentation, how to not suck, all right? Because if you want to stand out in an interview, just don't suck. If you want to get a raise, if you want to get a promotion, just don't suck, because 73% of the American workforce is disengaged. They suck, okay? How do I not do that? It's not hard. It's not hard. But I will let you know, it does go against the current culture, okay? You will be different. How many of you guys love to be different? Yeah, I know. Depends. Okay, well, yeah. Most people don't like to be different. Most people like to be status quo. Most people like to be like everybody else because that's familiar. Okay, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. And then finally, we'll finish up with how do we make money? Ooh, that's a sweet topic. You guys, it took me 47 years to learn how to make money. I'm going to talk with you guys, tell you the lessons so that you don't have to wait 47 years to learn how to make money. All right? Right now, just so you know, right now what you're doing in your jobs, you are not making money. Okay? If you are watching on video, if you are getting paid a salary or if you are getting paid by the hour, I want you to know you are not making money. All right? So we want to be careful with that. It could be just a matter of definition. Yeah, Gianna's sitting there looking at me funny, all right, like some other people are on video here. But you're not making money yet. All right, we'll get into that later on. You'll love it, okay? It'll really set you free. And then the thing that we'll even add to that is, once we learn how to make money, now we get to the sweet spot. How do you keep money? Oh, wow, that's sweet, all right? All right, and then finally, the very last class, how to get promoted from worker to the team builder, or from a worker to a trainer. That's the next level as we move up. All right, so that's kind of the direction that we're going to be going.